and I did a video about you guys signing a new deal.
Yeah,
And you guys signed a new deal, right?
we did. Yes.
Studio 71.
Mhm. You were correct. You
Look at that.
you saw the logo on
The
on the
Redditors.
Avi and was like, whoa,
The
that's not doing science, man. That's just looking at a logo.
I'm like Walter Cronkite.
No, you're
All right. Come on, man. But yeah, you signed a deal. It's with a different type of company and it looks like the last two deals you've signed have been audio deals, whereas you get to control your video, right?
What Sirius was that for sure, and it's a very similar deal to what Sirius was. We signed a licensing deal with Sirius. We were never signed to Sirius the way people think we were. It was a licensing deal, same way the Studio 71 deal was a licensing deal,
Okay.
and that's what it is.
Is this kind of like who was there a bidding war? Because you said you were on Zoom meetings with a bunch of people.
Yeah, we met with everyone. Studio 71 made the most sense for what we were trying to do, and how I like licensing deals. They made the most sense.
All right, what was it about? Can you reveal what appealed to you? Is it like the freedom? Did they?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of companies now have realized that exclusive shit is kind of done. Like, I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think podcasts are signing exclusive deals anymore. If you even see fucking Rogan is with Spotify and it's wide, like everyone knows that type of deal is dead. Now they try to make up for that in licensing deals where they can take certain pieces. I've had companies that wanted part of our Patreon where they wanted to put ads, and I'm like, so you want
That's
me
wild.
to have a paywall on Patreon and then make them listen to ads as well?
Or VPN? Yeah.
A lot of companies wanted 3 episodes a week. They're trying to find any way to get what our number that we won't budge on can make sense for them. And a lot of it is trying to pick into a lot of other shit in our lives. And that's just something I'm not going to budge on.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'm happy. Well, congrats on your new deal. I think
appreciate it.
There was many people who thought you would be like thrown out of a Sirius building or something, and like this was terrible.
No, Sirius deal went fine.
Yeah.
It was great. We talked to Sirius again at the end of our deal to see if it made sense, and they're obviously going in a completely different direction. And
Yeah.
Stitcher was dissolved as well, so it's not something that they're focusing on, and that's not a reflection of us or a reflection of them. They fucking Conan O'Brien, like they're in other worlds,
Yeah.
like signing a bunch of podcasts and putting up the right amount of money is just not what they're doing right now.
I would have loved if you went on a rant about like how Sirius is moving the budget to Conan and taking it away from you. That would have been iconic, but I don't see the vision of
I wrote a very funny sketch when we had first signed with Sirius about like a ginger war in the office, and I actually pitched it to Conan, and Conan loved it, and he was in the office one day that we were recording, and we went through the whole thing, and we were supposed to
You
shoot
met
it.
Conan?
Yeah,
I love Conan.
and I pitched a sketch that I wrote to Conan, and it meant a lot, like on my bucket list, that Conan like actually found my writing very funny and wanted to do the bit. It never obviously happened, but yeah, we were doing a ginger war in the office.
I would pass out if I met Conan. That's like I grew up on.
Really tall guy.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I heard he took one of Adam Carolla's holes.
I did not hear that at all. I feel like it'd be pretty easy to take one of Adam.
What? Love line? Come on, man. But I just now to segue in, how profitable is podcasting? Because you just basically you earlier said podcast is really hard to make money in now. Joe's on his platform on the same thing, and since you two are both on platforms who are not afraid to share the back end of stuff, Adam also does the same. He says the same thing. Everybody is saying this. What does this mean? How does it look? How does it play out?
Podcasts aren't profitable, and this is going to sound like sort of a political answer, but it's not. Podcasts are no longer profitable. Core fan bases are. And how you figure out how to monetize your core fan base and your returning customer is what is going to make you survive. You have to get creative. And I mean, shit, I'll even give credit where credit is due. And I've always been objective despite what you and everyone else says. Joe doing the leaning so heavy into the paywall thing was great for him. Like, he's going to survive no matter what because he has a core fan base that is paying liquid fucking money no matter what per month. So, he may not have to rely on ads the same way a lot of other people do. And if people think that's a weird strategy as far as promotion goes, I also see that side. But if your goal at the end of the day is to have longevity, it's a great fucking strategy, especially with how crazy things are now. It's figuring out how to get creative with leveraging your fan base and knowing that your fan base is also paying for Netflix, Hulu, Spotify. They're out the ass with subscriptions, so you have to find a way to be unique within that. That's why podcasting is not profitable anymore, because advertisers are not putting up the same money that they once did. And it was like the new run of people selling t-shirts or mixtapes. It was just the new fad.
Yeah.
And it wasn't creative. So if ad dollars aren't there and advertisers don't want to take risks, these people don't really have a fan base.
Yeah. Fact.
That's where things are now. It's figuring out when we get with Studio 71 and there's no traditional deal anymore. Deals are so custom to who you are and who your fan base is. That's where you have to get creative. When you take these Zoom meetings, it's not like, hey, just give us the same structure deal that you've been giving for the last 15 years. It's not going to work because it won't benefit us and it won't benefit them. You have to get very creative with your deals.
You worked at a ad agency before, right?
Yeah, I worked at Havas, yeah.
I used to work at an agency that worked with Havas, and I remember being there when like a show didn't deliver, or like, all right, you didn't hit your metrics at that 8 p.m. time zone, where you got to cut back the ads. Sorry. And I feel like that's kind of something similar to what's happening in podcasting.
Yeah, I mean, even I got laid off from Havas, and that was strictly based off our clients not wanting to do the same type of advertising. Okay. Like you take out an entire floor. Havas is one of the biggest ad agencies in the world.
Yeah, definitely.
You take out the whole third floor in their New York City office when LVMH is just like, nah, we're going a different direction. We don't need your services as far as advertising goes. I was watching a clip on the way here of Dame. Was Dame sitting with Math? I didn't look at the video. I just heard the audio. It sounded like Math.
He did at one point. So.
They were on like a white psych. It wasn't in the barbershop. And Dame was saying that Kanye had taken $120 million from Adidas. And again, I don't know if this is true or not. Just going off what Dame said. Took $120 million from Adidas for lifestyle marketing instead of doing commercials. Adidas wanted to do commercials for Yeezy and everything. He's like, no, just give me that $120 million. I will put that into my lifestyle, make sure you get all the headlines. I'll do all the messy shit. I'll wear the sneakers every time. I'll get TMZ. Give me that $120 million. I will be your commercial. And it fucking worked. People are just changing how they do advertising. So when ads see that, any company, you think they're going to be like, yo, let's do a mid-roll on a podcast?
Yeah. There was a point where they did say that, but they're not saying that
Things
no more.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's still good for advertisers with the right podcast, with the right target audience. Traditional advertising will never die. It just can't go to everybody. That's what I'm saying with podcasting. With us, it works great. Our retention rate and how many people click based off our Rory Mal code has been nothing but phenomenal for advertisers. They've seen a return. There's been ROI on everything. I can't say the same for the podcast boom when everyone's trying to make one and go talk to the same advertisers.
No.
It just doesn't work.